Hey everybody, Sirturmund here again. Welcome back to another YouTube video. So, really quick before I start with the deck that I'm gonna showcase today, I wanted to show you guys I have reached rank 3 again, 750 LP, still using Lee Sin Victor, but now I'm using a new version that's using Vi. I tend to not repeat decks on YouTube that quickly after I posted one. We posted the original video about 2 weeks ago. But if you guys want me to, I can post a new video on the Lee Sin Victor Vi deck that got me here to rank 3. Again, I can post gameplay on that tomorrow. If you want that, let me know, comment below, and we can do that. Even though, again, I tend to not do a lot of repeats, but I think it's fine to do it, right? The other reason that I'm kind of starting out with the leaderboard right here is because today we're playing some TF Sivir. You heard that right, TF Sivir. And we got the inspiration here from DrChekhov 42, who's currently rank 2 with TF Sivir. Now, Chekhov was in our chat yesterday and speaking to us a little bit about the deck, and he says that he doesn't even think that it's tier 2. But I disagree with that. I think he has to give himself a lot more credit. The fact that he reached rank 2 with this deck is pretty good. And today when we played it, we had a crazy good win streak with it as we were making this video. I think this deck is very solid because it's a really good mid-range deck. So how does the deck play out? So the deck is really just playing like a mid-range deck that just does a lot of damage through going wide and through all the pings and taking advantage of the fearsome keywords as well, right? So the Bakai Reaper and the Merciless Hunter both are fearsome, and you'll be surprised how often the fearsome damage gets through, especially the Bakai Reaper needs to be, opponents need to remove him early, otherwise he starts doing a lot of damage to them and just taking them out of the game. And again, this deck is all about mid-range, kind of going wide, doing all the chip damage that you can, so that fearsome damage, any fearsome damage that gets in is going to be huge. The other units that we have are really low value units that you can just play and just take a lot of value from there, right? Treasure Seeker gives you the Walking Sands, which you can combine with the Vulnerable from Merciless Hunter. Dragway Deckhand gives you the Powder Kick that you can combine with Make It Rain and Twisted Fate. Fortune Croaker is just a nice draw and a nice unit. And Mirai Warden lets us go wide. So pretty much every one of our 1 and 2 drops has some sort of value to it that can get us more closer to a win condition. Then we have Line Them Up, which can either power up our Make Rains or Twisted Fate, or can just push the damage itself to the Nexus, right? We knock them down. We have 3 Make It Rain and 3 Runeterra's Path. So again, you can kind of see where we have some of like the Nexus burn damage that you can take advantage of. The Runeterra's Path especially is pretty good because it's a draw, can burn them, and can also heal you. So it's doing like 3 things at once, which is really important. 2 Quicksand just to protect against like random Victor shenanigans. Sivir and TF are our champions. TF, the biggest part of TF is his red card. Red card is just so good in this deck, especially when you can combine it with like the Line Them Up or the Powder Keg from the Dragway Deckhand. You can just clear a whole of opponent's boards, and the red card alone just gets so much value. And Sivir's just there because she's going to be slowly leveling up just through all the value that you get from all the pings and all the damage that you're pushing up early. I would say like Sivir is a nice win condition because she can give spell shot to your units and quick attack, allowing you to keep a bigger board. While Twisted Fate, you actually don't care about the Twisted Fate level up. You don't care about leveling Twisted Fate. Actually, if they kill your Twisted Fate, it's better for you because it lets you play another quick Twisted Fate. 2 Saps just lets us draw into like our spells, Make It Rain, Line Them Up, or Runeterra's Path, as well as pushing some elusive damage. 3 Rune Runners tends to be a pretty good finisher for us to push that last piece of damage that we need with our Overwhelm and Spell Shield. And lastly, we play 1 Sheriff Lariat Rose, which has actually come in clutch a lot more times than I expected, right? She can combine with Sivir and Twisted Fate, which both have quick attack, or combine with the other units so that you can pull the fearsome blockers away and be able to push the damage with the Bakai Reaper and the Merciless Hunter. This deck is really fun. Again, it's another mid-range deck, but it's really fun because it has a different playstyle where you're playing more of like the value of your board and the Make It Rains and the Line Them Up, as you see in the games coming up soon, which makes a very big difference. But anyways, games are coming up soon. Remember, if you like the video, to press the like button below and to also subscribe to us. It will help us out a lot. I'll see you all at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against... Ooh, Reputation, Sivir LeBlanc. So Sivir versus Sivir, Reputation versus Twisted Fate Sivir. I feel like I want to have some early stuff, right? The Line Them Up seems so good against stuff like LeBlanc, right? Especially if I get like a TF. Oh, this is going to be such a nice combo, right? So we can do Line Them Up into TF Twisted Fate red card to be able to deal 2 to the whole board. which is gonna clear most of their stuff, right? 1, 2, 3, and they're the ones with the attack token of 4, so they could potentially develop something on turn 4, and then we do the Twisted Fate red card and go like that. The problem that I have to be careful here is that we just don't die too quickly, right? So we might have to summon the Merciless Hunter as just a blocker. So this is gonna die to the Twisted Fate. Oh, okay. Well, now we can do the Treasure Seeker. Yeah, so we can do the Treasure Seeker now. We kind of, you know, that way we kind of have like an early blocker, and we're just taking damage, like too much damage. So let's see. This deck is more like a mid-range type of style, like beat them down type of deck. So we could also just do the Dreadway now, right? I don't mind this. This is forcing, it's the same thing, right? This is forcing the opponent to have to kill this next turn before we do our Twisted Fate. Or we're gonna have like a 3 damage red card coming up soon, which is pretty dope. I wonder if that's actually better, just to turbo level the Sivir. If he wants to block with the Snapper, I think I'm okay with this. Technically, we could have kept our thing alive, but I want to have him develop. I didn't want to pass there, so I think having the opponent develop was better. He's gonna obviously just kill this here. If the opponent doesn't, then we'll do the red card. Now they could have no, because the Sigil of Malice is 3 mana. I was gonna have it. Let's say they play Sivir. Okay, yeah, there you go. So now that the opponent does that, I wonder if it's just better to do Sivir. I think it is. I think it's better to do Sivir, and we can do the Merciless Hunter and the LeBlanc and just kill her with the Sivir, right? Oh, he's gonna go for the Sivir kill here. Okay. So that's 2 spells that he still had to spend though. I think we still do the Merciless Hunter into the Walking Sands combo. We could have kept the Merciless Hunter for their Sivir though. Maybe that's a little bit better. I am a little bit scared of the LeBlanc leveled up right here though. Like, if the opponent has a second Bloody Business, they'll be able to level up LeBlanc, which would be really annoying. Yeah, second Bloody Business will level up LeBlanc and keep her alive, right? Maybe we're playing too greedy. They could also have Willing Death right here. Willing Death will also level up LeBlanc. Yep, there we go. So now LeBlanc levels up. We still push the 4 damage, and we still have the Twisted Fate, but I guess we can do Gold Card instead now. Yeah, I guess we can do the Gold Card. It's not a big deal. It's not as efficient as I would have liked the red card to be. But the opponent is down to only 3 cards. We have double TF in our hand. So I guess they have hit enough reputation. Well, actually, no, they're 3 out of 4 with reputation, right? Because of the LeBlanc attacked 3 times already. This is not enough to kill it because it's only doing 2, so it has to be the Gold card. So this is what's good about this, that you can line them up and then play the TF at the same time with just a single action, forcing the opponent into a very tough spot, right? Even if he has a way to kill the Powder Keg, we're still gonna have to knock them down to do the last piece of damage that we did in the LeBlanc. Even if the opponent, I guess the opponent could have the Shapestone right here. I guess the Shapestone is kind of annoying, right? But if they have the Shapestone, I'm okay with that. We could also just do the red card. Red card doesn't sound bad to me, actually. Kills both units, pushes 2 damage, and then we kill the LeBlanc with the knock them down anyways. We are going to let him trigger his reputation, though. He could still have the Sharp Set to save the LeBlanc. And then, well, we do the Twisted Fate draw. I think we just take this 6 damage. Opponent will not be able to get the Mirror's Image just yet. They're still too far away. Yeah, let's see if you have it. If he has the Shapestone, that's okay. We can do a second TF red card next turn. Doesn't have it, so he's going to go ahead and kill this one right here. So you can see how like the opponent's already at 12 HP and we really haven't done anything crazy, right? We just kind of go a lot of value through our units. Yeah, if he attacks you there, I was always going to block with the Warden and be able to do another red card next turn. Probably doesn't want to sacrifice it to the Merciless Hunter though. which is smart. I'm wondering if our second record is still better here. I think it has to be, right? I think a second record is still pretty good here, no? Oh, let's do this first. Let's do the Mirai so that we go wide, and then we do the red card. I want him to develop one more unit. Doesn't do it. At least here we clear 2 of his units, and then we still have a pretty wide board, and then we're able to attack for like a lot of damage. We'll have another blocker right here. He's gonna get the reputation trigger here. We go ahead and attack with everything. Twisted Fate doesn't matter. If Twisted Fate dies, it's actually better for us. We're gonna be able to kill this next turn anyways once he attacks. And then we just summon what? We also have pretty good blocker with left feet. So both of our Sivers are leveled up. I guess opponent could have Sivir plus Absolver, but that's not enough. The only way that they win is gonna be through the rally. Because we had the Sherry Larry, we can actually get vulnerable to both units and pull them. And we even have a way to kind of push some little bit of damage here. Because we can pull Make It Rain from this. So now our hits from this card is going to be Make It Rain and Ruinous Path, which are both of which can do a lot of Nexus damage with the line them up together with it. So do I force the Sharp Sight out? So opponent's going to have Sharp Sight. Kind of just like blocking like this. So that way, even if the opponent has Sharp Sight, it's not enough. If I block here, I block more damage, but if the opponent has Sharp Sight, the Rune Runner stays alive, right? So it's always better to block with the 2-1, even if we take 2 more damage, just because that way we know the Sharp Sight will not let him survive. Because if the opponent has Sharp Sight and then does like the 6-cost rally card, then it's a problem. Taking out the Quicksand like this is completely okay with me. We do like Rose right here. So now we can just pull this with a dot turn next turn, and we're pushing the lethal damage right here. And now this is also a pretty good blocker into like if the opponent has the decisive tactician, that's gonna give him the rally. That's their duel. Alright, so he clears 2 of our units. It's still only down to 1. I think I actually want to do this first. So I think I actually want to do this first. And just go wide. Opponent doesn't really have enough cards that worry me. And here we go. We have 2-3 damage. All we need to push is 1 more piece of damage. We have an elusive. Opponent already committed a quicksand. Yeah, there we go. We do this. Get a little bit more draw. This is just kind of guaranteeing the win, right? The opponent only has 1 card. And there's nothing that they can have with 1 card that really scares me. So we can just pull this one like this, and that's lethal. We have, even if he blocks here and has a Whirling Death, he can only kill this one, and that's pushing 4. And then we also have the Make It Rain. Yeah. He will have to block here and have like another Quicksand to stop it, and then the Make It Rain just kills him anyways. But you're gonna see what this deck does, right? It's kind of like a mid-range, beat-down type of style. We didn't really do anything fancy that game aside from the Twisted Fate, and we still just beat them down because of how much chip damage and units and wide board we have. But yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Fizz Lulu. Now, in this matchup, Twisted Fate is gonna be amazing, and Make It Rain. Unfortunately, we get neither of them. I still feel like I need to keep this whole hand. I like the Merciless Hunter as a way to grab the Lulu. And I like the other 2 as like early blockers. Okay, we got the Twisted Fate. So we have a pretty nice curve. We have this. Oh, and we get to Make It Rain. Oh, wow. This curve is nuts. We can go really wide and just start putting a lot of pressure on them. So because we have the Treasure Seeker and the Mirai Warden, we're going to start with that. We can wait to Make It Rain until later. Opponent shouldn't have a good blocker for the Mirai unless we like low roll the 1-drop. Because they probably want to play either the Boom Baboon or the Shurima Bomber Twins, right? Okay, Sunny Urchin. Oh my goodness. They get excited, gone. I don't care taking this block. If the opponent doesn't have a board, their big Yordle arms turn is not gonna be that big of a deal, right? Oh, that's such a high roll. Well, I guess it's a good high roll, but also not great because it means that it's gonna get bounced back every single time. But having an elusive blocker for the potential Fizz It's not bad at all. He discarded a Get Excited and he discarded a Yordle Captain. Wow. I think that's huge. Now, like we talked about, we lose our board here, but we still have plenty of blockers and still have Make It Rain, that I'm okay doing this. The question is, if the opponent has like Lulu plus Portal Cannon into Chompers, and that's annoying. But I feel like if they had the Chompers, they would have discarded something else instead, right? Like the fact that they didn't discard the Chompers with any one of their Sonic Urchin tells me that they just got this Boom Baboon just now. So we can do the Mourn here. This is kind of annoying because it makes our Make It Rain a lot harder. But look at this Twisted Fate next turn. So now we're just going to do this. So this time around, I'm actually going to pass because now we're going to set up for the Twisted Fate, right? To just clear his whole board. So now we clear the whole board. This goes all the way to 3 and we're pushing 2 for another set of damage. I think it's important to do this turn. Take advantage that we have the Twisted Fate and just, you know, be able to get rid of his board. It also means that we don't have to worry about the Make It Rain potentially hitting the Fizz anymore. I think we still go ahead and attack with everything. If the opponent blocks here, that's okay. If the opponent blocks here, he's gonna put himself vulnerable to Make It Rain. And this elusive is gonna actually start putting a lot of damage. Yeah, killing the TF is probably the worst thing. So when you're playing against this deck, yeah, we're not winning to TF, right? So we actually don't care about the Twisted Fate dying, because the way that we win this game is through just the value of our units. Oh, this is nasty. This is gonna be nasty. I want to do this now. So now again, his Lulu is gonna be pretty annoying, but I feel like I should get rid of the Yordle Captain. I feel like I should get rid of the Yordle Captain before he keeps buffing all his units too much. This also makes his Lulu attack more awkward, because if he attacks, we can block with the Treasure Seeker to kill the Lulu. So now he can do the Chompers, but the Chomper is going to become still going to be a 0-2. Yeah, so he tried to get value from this before anything else happened. And now what? Again, we also have the Knock Them Down still in our hand as well, meaning that we can kill the Daring Portals, which are going to only have 1 health. He's thinking if he should kill this Powder Keg. Okay, no, he's just going to go full hand with the Chompers. Alright, so we know their whole hand, which I think is fine with us. I guess they can kill both units, but they're going to lose one of their Chompers by doing so. And then next time we can use the Merciless Hunter on the Lulu and just pull her for free. I want to make it so that we can kill their Lulu. Yeah, I think this is fine, right? Well, if we kill their Lulu, do we just lose to the Daring Portals? We probably don't want to lose to the Daring Portals, right? Yeah, we probably don't want to lose to the Daring Portals. I don't think it's correct to lose to the elusives, right? Because we can just kill Lulu next turn using the Merciless Hunter, and just have the rest as like elusive blockers. He's gonna be able to kill this, and then the other one is able to kill this, so we get hit by 5. We go down to 10. We still have a elusive blocker here, but he can just pull it with the second Chompers next turn. We have 6 mana, so we can do Bakai Reaper plus Merciless Hunter plus Walking Sands. Oh, okay. Quicksand just won us the game. So now I'm not scared of the elusives anymore, because the Quicksand is going to be able to win the game. I want to see what his last card is before we do anything else, before we commit the Merciless Hunter. This is also a lot of fearsome damage. So now the elusives are not as scary anymore, because the opponent is not, because we have the Quicksand, right? Opponent could have a Mystic Shot here. Opponent could have a Mystic Shot here, or Get Excited to stop this kill. Imagine if you had another Twisted Fate. Opponent would get so punished with this board. Or even Make It Rain would be so good as well. He's going to Mystic Shot this. Which is kind of annoying, right? Because now he can go wide enough. Get Excited. That's even better for us. So this is annoying now. Because he can buff up the Daring Portal. So what do we do? Again, we have the quicksand, so I'm not too scared just yet. The only punisher will be Yordle in ours. We can kill their Lulu. I guess we don't kill the Lulu. Yeah, he can just kill this. He's not playing around us during a second Twisted Fate. What if we don't? Are we supposed to play around the burn? I think we are. I think we can't go down that low. I think we stay at 8 and just call it like this. Do the Mourn. We can do Walking Sands into trash into this next turn. Oh yeah, wow. Imagine if we get another Twisted Fate right here. This is also pretty good. This is also pretty good because it's fearsome. Opponent's gonna need to have a removal spell for this guy. Let's do it here first. I just gave him the access, right? Now they could have Pokey Stick, right? And that could be the damage that they need. We just win, right? So here's this play, guys. We can do the quicksand to remove both of the elusive keywords. That's gonna guarantee that, because the only burst speed cards that the opponent has are gonna be Pearl Cannon and the one burst speed card that creates a Mecha Yordle. So he's not gonna be able to get the Fizz to be elusive. So as long as we push at least 1 damage, then the Runeterra's Path is gonna finish the game. I guess if we're gonna do that, we should also do this and force the opponent to block. Yeah, this would force some blocks, right? I like that play. So we're gonna remove the elusive keyword. Oh, okay, now we don't even need to do anything. Now we just went through the Bakai Reaper, right? Yeah, now we just went through the Bakai Reaper. So we're forcing the blocks and we just win. So I guess we can just do this. Just call it a day. So the elusive and the fearsome are able to get the 4 damage and we win the game. So he has no blocker here, he has no blocker here because we pulled the fearsome blocker. Even if the opponent did have like a Mystic Shot instead of the Chompers, we still have been guaranteed to push at least 1 damage and then the Runeterra's Path will have finished the game. So regardless, this game was pretty much over. Ooh, that was nice. That Twisted Fate. I was hoping we could get more, like another Twisted Fate or more Make It Rains, but I mean, that was fine too. The way that it ended up working out ended up being okay. So yeah, GG's. So in this match, we'll be going up against Pirate Aggro, Pirate Aggro. Oh, I don't know why I have Spider stuck in my head. Now, we do have Twisted Fate, we have Make It Rain, and we should have a lot of decent blockers. I'm wondering if I need to keep at least 1 Fortune Croaker just as a blocker. Because playing Fortune Croaker like a 2-3 might actually not be bad. Like playing this as a 2-3 might actually not be bad. Now, if they do the Legion Saboteur right here, I'm gonna have to sacrifice it for my Bakai. I guess now we have blockers for everything except the Fearsome Spider. So the Fearsome Spider will be the only thing here that I have to be careful of. Twisted Fate is gonna be so good, but he also has Twisted Fate, right? So we need to be careful about that. That opponent can just Twisted Fate us right back. So let's see. Yeah, now that we have the Treasure Seeker, we don't need to sacrifice the Bakai. I think the Bakai Reaper is going to be better off to push a lot of consistent damage as the game goes on. Misfortune is the scariest part of their deck. Yeah, there you go. We block. Get the value here. Yeah, their Misfortune is the scariest part of their deck, I think. What if we just pass first? Alright. Well, I guess we have to do this then, right? We can't just pass here anymore. Misfortune is kind of annoying, but Misfortune would allow us to develop the Walking Sense. I guess we don't have to do the Walking Sense. We can just do the Merciless Hunter. Ooh. I like the second Reaper here. I want him to tap out and Make It Rain first. Now that he does this, I'm willing to do this. He's also setting himself up for a nasty Make It Rain. I mean, sorry, for a nasty Twisted Fate. Unfortunately, I cannot take this damage. As much as I would love to do this TF, I don't think I can afford to take that much damage, right? We have to block here, here, here. And I guess that's still a pretty good Twisted Fate. We take 5, and we Twisted Fate to clear the rest of his board. We lose one Bakai, but the second one is getting bigger. Now the second one is vulnerable to something like Make It Rain. But with Twisted Fate on the field, it shouldn't be a big issue. We drew some heal, so we got the Runeterra's Path, which is a pretty good heal. He needs to be able to kill. He needs to have Make It Rain here, or a way to kill the Reaper. Otherwise, the Reaper is gonna push way too much damage to the opponent. I guess the opponent could have their own Twisted Fate, but all he's doing is just killing the Reaper, and then we still just attack with our own Twisted Fate. So what does the opponent do here? Misfortune. So we just push for 7. If the opponent wants to let us get this 7 right here, I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with this. Yeah, I mean, pushing that 7 is nice. And this is going to be really good to kill Misfortune next turn. So now we just have to do... Do we let this die? I mean, we don't have to. But if the opponent has like Twisted Fate or Make It Rain, then this is always going to get punished regardless. We could block the damage. I'm gonna keep it. If the opponent has the second Misfortune or has the Make It Rain, then props to them. I'm not gonna play around him having the Make It Rain right now. This also set him up for a second Twisted Fate. So I'm very surprised that the opponent decided to take this attack like this. Maybe he does the Make It Rain right now. If the opponent has Make It Rain, they should do it right now. Just to stop this from damaging the Misfortune. Ends up not doing it anyway, so we just do this here. We have the Walking Sands, and we have the Runeterra's Path, and we have the Sheriff Rose next turn. Sheriff Lariete Rose. We could also just go super wide instead of the Rose, by the way, because we're gonna have enough vulnerables, right? Yeah, we're gonna have enough vulnerables that we can go really wide. I want to be able to do this turn though, so let's see. We have 5 mana. Yeah, I think this is fine. He could easily have gotten the Make It Rain, so I need to do as many units as possible. Yeah, we can do this. The question here is... Probably want to draw though, right? Yeah, let's draw. That's good. That's a good draw. Let's draw here, and then we just kill him. He's going to need to hit like the Make It Rain or the Fervor. He's going to have to Fervor our Bakai Reaper or have to Make It Rain and hope that he hits the Reaper, right? Otherwise, he's not going to be able to push the damage. We have enough fearsome attackers, and we have the Runeterra's Path that we can push all the damage through here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull the Sap with the Croaker. We're going to pull the Sandstone with the Misfortune. And then the other ones are just going to push all the fearsome damage. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because if Make It Rain hits, and it hits the Sandstone Charger, I actually don't care. The Misfortune is only 1 damage compared to the Sap, which is 2 damage, right? So I don't care the Misfortune staying alive, even if the Make It Rain hits the Charger. But if the opponent has only Make It Rain, they have to hope that it hits the Reaper, otherwise they just lose the game. If it's Fervor, then they have to Fervor one of their units and kill this, and that's 1 less Fervor that goes to face. They still lose their whole board. They go down to 1 HP, meaning that if we get our own Make It Rain or we get Twisted Fate, we just win the game here. We also go up to 12 HP. Yeah, this is why I kept the manas for the Runeterra's Path. So here we go. We have blockers for both units. Opponent only has 1 card left, and they're going to be at 1 HP. And we're going to have the Rune Runner next turn. There we go. You can see what the power of this deck is, and just all the value that you get. Like that Twisted Fate was so good. Twisted Fate just literally just cleared the whole board, right? And the Runeterra's Path serves as a draw, as well as a poke to them. So we get closer to join the second Twisted Fate or join the Make It Rain, and there it is. And that's game. And that's game. I could do the Wind Runner. Do I need to be careful about anything else here? I like the Wind Runner. Because we still can just make it rain to win the game. And otherwise, we can just open attack with the Wind Runner. So, sure. If he does this, then we just win the game guarantee with the Make It Rain. No reason to spend any more time. There we go. Woo! That was good. That was good. That was clean. This deck just gets so much value just from all the cards from Shurima and Bilgewater. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against. Let's see. It's going to be against Rumble Draven. I think we're in a good spot. I think Twisted Fate is going to put so much work, and so will Make It Rain. Wow, how greedy is this hand? This hand has to be too greedy, right? This is such a greedy hand for us to keep. I think everything was... I think I'm going to keep everything except for the path. Merciless Hunter is going to be so good against putting the vulnerable on the Rumble to be able to kill him. The problem is that the opponent has to attack on 4 on evens, which means that they can summon their Rumble and get to push the damage before we can do the Merciless Hunter. So the reason that I decided to keep the Make It Rain is because they can do like the 2-drop, right? If the opponent lets us do like blind them up plus Make It Rain, we can kill both units. Okay. This actually was a mistake. Okay. Maybe because they also play a lot of one health units, right? They play Boom Baboon and they play the Sunny Urchin. So that's also why I decided to keep the Make It Rain, even though it's really great to keep both of them. Ballistic Bot? Really? What? No, I guess they do used to play it. Yeah, they always play Ballistic Bot because it gives them another target for the... it gives them another target that they can use, right, for the Might. Here's the question. Are we doing the Merciless Hunter right here? How scared am I of the Ballistic Bot? Or are we just saving our mana? I think it's fine to do this. I think we just kill the Draven. If the opponent has a Draven right here, we can do line them up, Make It Rain, and kill all his board. So let's say that the opponent does the Draven right here. I think open attack was fine. I think I let him do the ignition, right? Do I let him do the ignition? So if the opponent has a Mystic Shot to stop this Powder Keg, I'm okay with this, right? It's technically really not efficient to knock them down right now because we can just twist the Fate next turn. But I also don't hate it. I feel like I don't want to give them the ignition to have things that they can discard with Rumble. Like, I feel like the opponent is kind of looking for things that they can discard. Oh, wow. Well, I guess we'll do this. We'll do this now. It will stop him from getting White Ignition. It sets up our second Make It Rain, or we can do Twisted Fate, right? Either way, it's gonna be nasty. So he can do Rumble here. This guy the Ignition, this guy the Daring Poro, and gets a Rumble down on the field. We do the Merciless Hunter on the Rumble next turn. The Rekka will remove the Spell Shield, as well as kill his units. And if we can control the board, I don't see how the opponent is able to come back. The question here is, does he commit the Daring? There's no way he can commit the Daring Poro right here, right? Because he just loses to a Twisted Fate. Do I have to wait for the opponent to commit something else before we do the Twisted Fate, though? Or can I just do... Like, if they do the Daring Poro, is there any punish for me just ripping the Twisted Fate? Oh, wow. What did we talk about? Wait, he doesn't even go for the Spell Shield because he knows that he doesn't need to. So opponent doesn't even go for the Spell Shield. I'm taking this damage from this guy. I think it has to be red card. It stubs the ballistic bot, does 1 damage, puts some damage on the Rumble. I think I'm actually going to be willing to sacrifice my Twisted Fate. I actually rather get a second Twisted Fate. It's kind of like how we've been talking about. You want Twisted Fate to be dead so that you can keep playing more and more Twisted Fates, right? We can here do the Merciless Hunter. This is going to force out a Mystic Shot. This is pretty good too. This is going to force out a Mystic Shot or a Get Excited or Willing Death on the Merciless Hunter in order to keep his Rumble alive. We can make it rain this next turn. Yep, that's the Get Excited that we talked about. I'm gonna set up the bigger Make It Rain. This also gives us another blocker for the Rumble. So I'm gonna just set up the Make It Rain right here so that we can kill 2 of his units. This is gonna be down to 1 HP, so we could get another like Make It Rain from the Sap Spray Fin or another knock them down and just put them in a very bad spot. He should not pull this ever. I guess the only question here is that we probably have to sacrifice our Bakai Reaper, right? Because if the opponent's smart, he should pull with the Chompers. That's the worst pull ever. That's the worst pull ever because we can just make it rain and it will deny the Rumble attack completely. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's no way you do this pull. So this pull is wrong because now we just make it rain, right? And look at that. We kill this, we hit the Nexus, and the Rumble doesn't get to attack because the Powder Keg gets destroyed. He will need to attack to kill the deckhand. I guess he had the mind, that's why he did it that way. I think I'm still okay with this because the Rumble is going to level up now, but we still can just get the line them up with the sap. I guess that makes sense. I kept saying that it was the worst pull ever, but it makes sense because he knew that we were probably going to do the Make It Rain like that, right? So now what? Now we just can go wide here and just... this sucks. This sucks. The Rumble is going to be very big. We can kill it with the Bakai Reaper, but our opponent could potentially just have another Mystic Shot. We can probably do the Treasure Seeker and do the Walking Sands and try to kill with Walking Sands instead. That would still allow us to push damage with the Bakai Reaper. We know that the opponent has 1 more card here. He gets the Ignition. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take it slow. Opponent has 3 cards left. We know one of them is a Mecha Yordle. The other 3 cards are the cards that we don't know yet. Another Might next turn is going to be the only punish that I can see. Everything else I think looks okay. We can do the Walking Sands to threaten the Rumble. Potentially pushing some damage there. He can do the Ignition here to reduce the cost of the Mecha Yordle that he has in hand. Or he can summon it right now and we could potentially tag it with the Merciless Hunter. This is going to push a lot of damage if the opponent doesn't have a Fearsome blocker. So that's why I'm thinking that he needs to... Wait, doesn't Make It Rain just kind of stop this? I think I want to... So the reason I want to do the Make It Rain right now is to kill the Salty Spinner before the opponent can summon another unit. And make our odds of Make It Rain hidden lower, right? So at least here we stop that. Again, we have another Merciless Hunter, right? I think opponent decided to do the Mecha Yordle first because they want to be able to get another Mecha Yordle, but then they're going to get punished if the Mecha Yordle that they get it has anything more than 4 costs. Because then they won't have another summon. Alright, he gets the Draven. He needs to have Whirling Death or a Mystic Shot to stop this, right? Or he could have... Yeah, I think this is fine. I think we're just going to pull the Ballistic Bot. I think, obviously, we already know that the opponent's going to have enough Fearsome blockers because of the Draven and the Axe. That trying to push damage to the Bakai Reaper is never going to work. So all we can do here is pull like this. Pull like this. And then the rest, he's going to block this with the Draven. We still push it 4, 6, 8 damage. And then all we have to do is just not die against another Might. And there's the Might, or a Mystic Shot or something. Get excited. I call that a win. I call that a win. We kill like most of his board. Opponent goes down to 4 HP. Sivir levels up. It's gonna be all dependent on whatever their last card is. Otherwise we're gonna be able to go really wide. So if their last card is Might, we just lose the game. If their last card is not Might, we're okay. Quicksand is pretty good at protecting us against other stuff.
Nice to meet you. I'm Isla.
We can just kill both Poros, right?
Engaged.
Shouldn't we just kill both Poros here?
Not today.
Kinda like that. I like killing both Poros here.
Why are you here?
Yeah, I like killing both Poros here. That means we're wide enough. We're always blocking here because we cannot go down to 3 HP. Because otherwise he could get another Get Excited and win the game. Opponent really committed double Get Excited. We're still wide enough to go over them. We can actually threaten the Rumble. And we get the Twisted Fate to finish it off. So we can threaten the Rumble by going with this. He's going to have to block with the Earthshaker. And we're still pushing 4 damage. He will need to have another removal spell to be able to stop us. And he doesn't. And we got it. Ooh, that was close. That was close. But the fact that the opponent already used double Get Excited, right, gave us a really huge edge. And you can see how the Walking Sands puts a lot of work in there. So yeah, GG's, 200 OP. Woo. This deck is actually pretty nice. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Ezreal Caitlyn. I think this matchup is tough. So when I talked to DrChekhov, who's obviously made this deck, he told me this matchup is very tough because of Caitlyn. Now, I kind of like this hand. Because it kind of allows me to go wide while also being able to prep for like a line them up, make a rain combo. Caitlyn will still be able to push some damage because the problem with Caitlyn is that because she's able... Ooh, wow. Okay, now that we have the Bakai Reaper, I kind of just want to play the Bakai instead. We do Bakai, Mirai Warden. So the problem with Caitlyn is the Flash Bombs. Sorry, I keep like stopping myself, but yeah, Caitlyn's Flash Bombs are a really big problem for this deck. Because we rely on kind of having like a board presence, and the Flash Bombs are just able to kind of just pull so much damage to us, right? Here, opponent's gonna has to do some removal, right? Or otherwise they're taking 5 damage, and if they take 5 damage, I'm completely okay with that. All the chip damage that we do is gonna be huge. He could also have Piltover Peacemaker right here, and that would start setting up everything. Okay, there we go. The question here is, do we let this Caitlyn... I guess we have to, right? He could have Thermal for the Mirai Warden. Maybe that's what the opponent's thinking right here. Yeah, I think they have Thermal. It's either they just slow played it or they have Thermal. The double Dreadweight and the TF and the Make It Rain and line them up is actually kind of crazy. We can do a lot of damage here. Oh, he's gonna flock. Okay, he's gonna flock this one, I guess. I think we pass. We have a blocker for this, right? So if he doesn't do anything here, I'm okay with this. Yeah, there we go. I think it's actually better to do the Dreadway and keep the Twisted Fate for later on. Because the Draven will allow us to go more wide, and we can just make it rain right here instead of doing the other stuff, right? So if the opponent summons any other unit, make it rain is gonna just punish them. If they don't summon anything, like they just did right here, I guess they could have Static Shock, or they could have like a bunch of Mystic Shots. I still think it's worth it to do the Make It Rain, right? I still think it's worth it to do the Make It Rain. It kills the blocker, puts this up at 2 HP, at 2 attacks, sorry. And we can just summon the second Deckway, or we can just save our mana to do line them up plus Twisted Fate. If he decides to Mystic Shot this, Calling Strike this, I think I'm completely okay with this. In which case, we're just gonna go wide with the Deckhand again. This is still at 1, so now it's not a good blocker into the Reaper. I just want to force the opponent to have to do things, right? Again, we know that the opponent probably has a Thermal, so I think we just do this. This will allow us to go wide so that no matter which way the opponent blocks, he's going to take at least 4 damage. Because if he blocks this, he's taking 6. If he blocks this, he's taking 6. I'm guessing the opponent has a Mystic Shot though, the second Mystic Shot. So if they have Mystic Shot plus blocking, then they're only taking 4, which is what I'm assuming. Otherwise, they're taking 6, go down to, wow, go down to 10 HP, and they have to develop next turn, and the Twisted Fate is going to stop any develop. If it's an Ezreal or a Caitlyn, we can do the stun to be able to stop them. And now we got the Sheriff Lafayette Rose to finish the game next time. Sivir is not close to leveling up yet because we are kind of attacking with like low attack units. Okay, what did you draw? What did you draw, my friend? Static? I guess we should just play Sivir, to be honest. I think we should just play Sivir. I cannot pass. I think if we pass, we lose too much value from pass. Like if we pass, we're kind of giving him too much value. So even if the opponent has the Caitlyn right here, I think I'm okay with that. Now this is going to be able to die to a Flock now, which is annoying. But this has Spell Shield, so he probably wants to remove this. That's the Thermal that we knew that he had from early on, right? So the Thermal is really annoying as well. Wow. Do we just push the 5 here? I'm okay pushing the 5, no? Because this is 1, this is 2, 4 pieces of damage here. This is 5 pieces of damage. Opponent has no healing. Actually, we have 6 pieces of damage on the board, right? Because the red card is going to be 2 with the keg. The other keg here is going to be another 2. The other keg here is going to be another 2. That's 6. This is going to push 5 guarantee. If the opponent for some reason doesn't have the Flock, then we're pushing 7 and just winning the game. So I think the open attack is actually correct. Yep, he's going to always Flock this. We do the Sivir here. What we need to do is that we cannot do the line them up until we use of this keg. Sun Fumes. Yeah, so I'm gonna do this. I think at this point we just burn them down. So look how nice this win is gonna be. Opponent's already at 3 HP here because of the red card. We have lined them up, lined them up. I'm gonna force the opponent to have a Mystic Shot right here, otherwise they go down to 1, and then the second line them up kills them. Oh, yeah, that's the game. They have no healing. Oh, that's so good. That was so good. Oh, and we get a second TF, so if the opponent ever kills this TF, we just kill with the red card anyways. Oh, poor Draven. And that's game. Boom. That's such a nice burn. Because even if they kill the keg right here, it doesn't matter. We can sacrifice our TF into the Jack the Winner and summon another TF anyways. Same thing. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Again, but like we talked in the beginning, Caitlyn is the biggest problem with us against this deck, and the opponent didn't get Caitlyn. So we ended up just kind of pushing all the damage that we needed. So yeah, GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games. So those games that you saw wasn't a crazy win streak that we went. I started recording and we ended up going 5-0. And I was like, all right, I guess we're done recording. So actually all 5 games that you saw are in order because of like how crazy we ended up just winning. As you saw that we got up to over 200 LP. The deck is really fun, and you can get an idea here how it plays out with like all the wide board and all the Make It Rain and Twisted Fate value that you can just get, right? So really fun deck. I think DrChekhov needs to give himself a little bit more credit. I think this deck could actually be tier 2, even though DrChekhov himself doesn't really believe on it. So anyways, in terms of mulligan tips, you kind of saw it there. I definitely like keeping the Bakai Reaper. I think that the Marai Warden is going to be pretty good as well if you want to push some early damage. I like to keep Make It Rain at least one of it a lot of times, especially if I have something like Line Them Up or Dreadweight to combine them. Twisted Fate, I don't mind keeping at least one Twisted Fate because of how valuable the red card is, but usually you want to just keep an early curve, right? So Bakai Reaper, even the Treasure Seeker if you need like early blockers, Bakai Reaper, Make It Rain, Marai Warden, just kind of do a lot of early pressure early on. I would never keep Sivir or Ruin Runner. I think that things that you keep later on. It's the same thing with the Sheriff. And the Quicksand, you know, it's a game state decision. If you think you're going to need it and it's like a big 2 Riven deck, then definitely we just keep it, but most of the times I probably wouldn't keep it either, unless you really think that you're gonna need to survive sometime soon rather than later. But anyways, hope you enjoyed those games. Really fun deck. I'm really glad to see this archetype come up. It's not a new one, so I'm glad to see it that it's kind of putting in some work again. Again, if you like the content, please make sure to drop a like below and to subscribe to us. It will help us out a lot. You can also catch us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream about 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also catch us on Twitter and Discord. The links to those are both in the description below. Again, make sure to drop a comment below if you think we should do another Lee Sin Victor deck. Otherwise, we'll go with a different deck tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again next time.